Hey guys, what's up? Sorry for the delay. I was really, I had a lot to do ekdam se, so I couldn't make it in time. But yeah, let's start today's session. Let's wait for a few people to join in. Let's do a sound check. Is everything audible, guys? Uh, I hope everything is working. I couldn't test it just now before I started this. Is everything working? Can someone confirm if everything is working? I'll turn off my AC as soon as more people come in, so don't worry about that one. Uh, yes, awesome. Thank you, Anshika. Thank you, Priyanka. Perfect. I'll just deal with the AC. Like you probably can hear my AC right now. I'm just waiting for it to cool the room a little, and then we'll conduct the class today. Today we're going to talk about question framing, and we're going to finish question framing. So we'll cover all sorts of questions, because the WH questions, the how questions, the do questions, all of those, I think once we cover that, everything is going to sort itself out. And yeah, the session is started, and let's just wait for a few more individuals, right? I think there's a confusion, guys. If you guys are active right now, right, if you guys are active in the Discord, can you please share this link with people? Because I think there might be a confusion of the class being on the link that was shared in the Discord. That link is for the conversation with Prakhar, right? So it's like a different thing. Chai bhai. Hey Arpit, how are you, man? तूने अपना यूजरनेम चेंज कर लिया आज. Nice. Good to see you here. I know देखो AC सुनाई दे रहा होगा background में. I'll just turn it off in a couple of seconds. So let's just wait for a few more, guys. Let's wait for the viewer count to get to like 15, because that's like a, you started now. Yeah, like Ayush, we're just starting now. You haven't missed anything. I haven't even started the class yet. I'm just waiting for people to come, because it's not clear. I think a lot of people might be waiting on the other room. Let me just I can't even check right now, because I'm streaming my screen. Isn't it day 4? Yes, it is, buddy. But even if you're someone that's new, you can still come in, and we can still go forward with it and whatnot. But yeah. अरे आपके होम पेज पर नहीं दिख रहा ब्रो भाई का अकाउंट द बेस्ट गेमर. Oh, awesome. The title says 3. Dude, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Thanks for pointing it out. I was in a super hurry, guys. I was in a super hurry. I don't want to talk about the problems I'm dealing with right now, but yeah, today was not a good day. But yeah, now we have 18 viewers. Everyone's here. So let's just let's just start. Okay, I just got a notification. I don't know how to deal with it, but I will. But yeah, let's start the class, guys. I'll just start with the class. Let's take the questions thing. I'll give you guys the notes by Wednesday. So all the resources that I was talking about, I'll take 2 more days, because I'm dealing with something right now. I'm not able to sleep properly because of that, and I'm not really working at my 100% right now. But I will make sure that the notes that I give you guys are on point and whatnot. So Manny Panmar OP workshops, thanks man. Thanks for all the encouragement and whatnot. But yeah, I'll send all the notes in a drive link. I'll upload all the resources there for you to have and everything. So let's just start with the class right now. Let's take a quick class on the question framing and whatnot. We'll revise from yesterday a little, and then let's just get Prakhar on board at 10:30, because he's probably time sensitive. And yeah, we only have 20 minutes more to go, and I'll have to connect Zoom to YouTube, which I don't know. So if you have pointers on that, let's someone give me notification and whatnot on my Discord. But yeah, let's start the class, guys. Let's just go to keynote. Let's start the class. So welcome to the grammar class, guys. I'm going to turn off the AC in the background. You'll be able to hear me better now. So welcome to the grammar class, guys. This is the final day. Even though this is the final day, I'll probably continue taking the class, because I have left out a few things that I wanted to cover, but then I couldn't because of some constraints that happened. This was the beta version of the workshop. The next one's probably going to be better and more efficient, and we'll probably keep it more streamlined and whatnot. But yeah, let's start with the grammar class today. We are learning the grammar with the intention of becoming better in spoken English, and to have more fluency in English. So that's one of those things. Yesterday's session was on articles and models, so like we'll just basically do a quick recap, or you know like what, let me just check the time. It's 10:10 already. Okay, let's skip the recap today and just, you know, like get into framing questions, because I'll probably have to go a little early to sort a few things out before the stream with Prakhar starts, because like I want to make sure that, you know, like his voice is fine and everything, because with yesterday we learned a few things. But let's get into the framing questions bit. So framing questions, right? So these are the WH questions. So like WH is basically when, where, who, why, what, and which. And all of these words, when we're using WH questions, they all are used with proper context. The context in this form right now is that when means time, where means location, who means person, why means reason, what is object, idea, or the action, and which is thing. So if you want to frame a question with WH, it's pretty simple. Like I'm pretty sure everyone understands these, but let's still, you know, like try and make a few examples. Let me just check the stream health real quick. I hope it's fine, because I am not streaming it on the right connection. Is the stream fine, guys? I can't sense. I am not streaming it on the right connection. Is the stream fine, guys? Okay, I think it is. I can't. My audio shouldn't be captured. It's probably going to create a delay later, but it's fine. Where, take care of yourself, bro. Thanks, man. It's fine. Yes, it's fine. Awesome. Perfect. So these framing questions, let's just take a few examples. Someone give me example for which. What's the difference between why and which? And I'll probably add that as well. When is your class? See, the point is, but these questions, okay, whenever we're framing a question, so these words are always going to be in the beginning of the question or the sentence, and the tense of the sentence is decided by the conjugation of the verb. Now we've already covered all the tenses in detail, so if you're someone that's new who has missed a few classes, just go to day 1 and day 2. We covered every tense in detail, and to be precise, I think day 1 is still going to be fine with you, because most people don't have problems in present simple or in future simple and past simple and the continuous. The problem comes in the past perfect, present perfect, past perfect continuous, and present perfect continuous, and we covered that on day 2. So I encourage you to get, you know, like sit down, watch the day 2 video completely, because understanding those tenses is pretty much going to solve all the problem that you have. And then all the common errors are, you know, like just a subject verb agreement example, and I'll just cover that today, so don't worry about that. It's fine. Why are you in such a hurry? I'm in, do I sound like I'm in a hurry? I'm sorry, I'm like a little like lost today, man. I'm sorry, Ayush, but yeah, like I'll go a little slower. Thanks for pointing it out. But yeah, see, so framing questions, I'll just, you know, like restart this. So framing questions, when, where, who, why, what, and which is used to start a question, right? And this is one of those things also that, you know, like in India, when we're communicating, one of those common errors that a lot of people make is that whenever we're saying something, we use the sound to let the other person understand that we are asking question. For example, your number, right? So like we basically just, you know, like raise the pitch of the word that we're trying to point out to illustrate that, you know, like we're asking a question. And it's one of those things that always happens. You feeling good? Like the question technically should be, are you feeling good, right? But we basically just get rid of this framing question or the beginning question word, and we just basically use our our voice tone to just enunciate the idea that, you know, like we're asking something. So it's one of those things that we really need to fix. But when is used for time, where is used for location, who is used for person, and I'm sure all these questions are, you know, like self-explanatory. If you have a doubt, you can just mail it here. SM Fahad, Ayush Pansal, Ayush man. Sorry guys, messed it up a bit. I don't understand it, it's fine. Share the streams, guys. Anyway, let's just move on to the next thing. Alright, so this is where a lot of people make mistakes. Okay, this is one of the biggest, most common mistakes made by people when it comes to so much and many is something that I'm going to really stress on. But how is used, like how question is used whenever we're talking about and looking for an answer that gives us the method. For example, how do you stream, right? You're asking this question because you want to understand the method or the process. So that's pretty simple. But how much and how many are the biggest, most confusing questions and the most badly appropriate and badly used words. For example, much is used for things that are abstract and uncountable in nature, and many is used for words that are countable and definite in nature. For example, imagine करो कि मैं सब्जी बेचने वाला हूँ, ठीक है, just imagine it, joke, सब्जी बेचने वाला हूँ, ठीक है, मैं सेब बेच रहा हूँ, लाइक सेब ले लो, सेब ले लो, सेब ले लो. अगर तुम मुझसे आके पूछोगे कि लाइक सेब सेब चाहिए, तो I'll ask you, how many apples do you want? The reason why I'm asking you how many apples is because apples are always going to be definite in number, right? But now understand this. Let's talk about its measurement in kilo, right? We use the word kilo because weight then, like becomes an abstract thing because it could be anything, but apples are always going to be definite. So similarly, much is also used for emotions or abstract feelings. For example, how much do you love me? Or how much do you hate me? I don't understand why people don't like me so much, right? All these things are abstract in nature. So whenever we talk about something that's abstract and we need to quantify that abstractness, we use the word much. So much and many is, like very oftenly miscorrected. So to give you guys another example, when you're, like on a dinner table and you ask someone to pass the salt, right? Or like you ask someone for something that's, like not quantifiable, you always ask for much. So like the rule is always going to be, when you're talking about something that's abstract in nature that can't be defined, we're going to use much, and anything that can be defined and is definite in nature, we're going to use many. And how long and how far is, like I just explained here, used for duration and distance. Message retracted. Okay, I was just checking the stream health again, but yeah, it's working, I think. Awesome. So common errors, and this is the most common error, and it's the singular and plural bit. So we covered this on day 2 as well, but like let me just like explain it to you guys live by typing it out what I'm talking about. So see, the subject verb agreement that we talked about talks about how singular nouns go with singular verbs. Okay, so singular nouns are basically, to give you guys an example, monkey is a singular noun, right? We know it's one monkey, that's why it's called singular noun. So if we are trying to conjugate a verb with it, right, a simple sentence, let's say bandar kela khata hai, it's a very simple sentence to say. So monkey ke saath hamesha eats aata hai, and the reason why we add an s to the verb is because it's the singular form of the verb, right? And it's one of the most common errors. So abhi मैंने एक example ला script किया, but I'll tell you where the most common error happens, and it's usually with does. So for example, he, she and it, the third form of subject, is where does is used, right? So he does not does it. Or even in past form, for example, he did not did it, right? The point is that do is an auxiliary verb, right? Whenever we are basically using an auxiliary verb, do, in past, in present, we basically conjugate the rest of the sentence in its infinitive form. For example, I did not did. This is also one thing that happens, like we basically, like did not always gets conjugated to didn't. It's just like one of those things that happens in English a lot. But I did not know what to do, right? This is one of those examples in past that we covered on day 2. But I did not know what to do. To give you guys an example of what I'm talking about, a lot of the common errors in not using the right auxiliary verb we did is like not using did as the right auxiliary verb. This is a very common sentence that's, like usually, the font might be small for you guys. Sorry, one sec. I just remember that, like Arpit mentioned yesterday that the font was wait, let me just like overlap this for now. Just focus here, guys. I'll rearrange it. But yeah, I did not know what to do, right? One of the most common mistakes that happens with did, okay, this is past because they're not using the auxiliary form of did, is I didn't knew what to do. Now, the reason why this error happens is because you're forgetting the fact that with did, everything after that becomes normal in past, okay? Same thing happened with does. Like when we've already used the es form, the subject verb agreement has already been completed. Subject verb agreement talks about how singular used to be with singular verbs. Singular nouns used to be with has to be with singular verbs. And the other way around is, for example, monkey and eats. I'll give you another example. So monkey, now it's a plural noun, right? And now it basically becomes eat. The reason why is this s keeps translating to the other side basically. So if it's a singular noun, in singular verb the es is added to the verb, and in a plural noun it's added the other way around. So it basically gets back to the, like, so if s is added in the noun, it's basically taken away from the verbs. And trust me, you fix this ses issue, this is the most common error, right? And then, you know, like, let me just also explain, wait, let me just take a screenshot for this so that I'll remember that I also have to include this particular example in the notes. I'll delete this, and then let's move on to the usage of since and for, because since and for is also very confused, right? So since, what's the difference between since and for? So like, to give you an example, I have been waiting for you since 2 hours, right? This is a very simple sentence, it's very simple to understand, right? And it looks correct, but it's not. So the error here is actually since. Since is wrong to use here, and the reason for that is that since is used when we are talking about the time that started passing from a point. So to give you guys an example, if I said I have been waiting for you since, okay, let me give you an example. तुम imagine करो तुम दोस्त के साथ बैठे हो अपने, ठीक है, and तुम्हारा दोस्त कहीं जाता है and तुम उसी जगह पे वेट कर रहे हो अपने दोस्त का, and like आधा घंटा हो गया, ठीक है. अगर तुम्हें ये since के साथ सेंटेंस बोलना है तो you will say I've been waiting for you since 3 p.m. right? Because then it's a specific time. You're talking about कि एक point पे एक timeline start हुई थी and वो तब से चल रही है, ठीक है. And for अगर आपको use करना है तो it will be I have been waiting for you. I've been waiting here for you for 30 minutes, right? So for is basically used whenever we're using a specific time, right? And it's also one of those really common errors, and I'll give you guys a list so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's also a very common mistake that, you know, like, is very really frequent. So coming back to the other thing, to give you guys a few other examples, I have been living in Delhi ever since I was born, right? So since, ever since is representing that, you know, like, whenever I was born I've been here. So even though I'm not giving the specific time, I'm still talking about the specific time, because like I'm just not giving the quantified version of that specific time, but the event is still same because you were born only once. And all these things, you know, like, they're very simple to understand once, you know, like, someone takes the time to explain why those things happen. So next time when you're talking about time period, use for, and whenever you're talking about something ever since an event, like from an event, just use since, right? It's one of those things that you can do. And next thing is to be is mr. So is mr, you know, like, I've already covered on day 1 as well, but this is again, you know, like, a very frequently made mistake. But you know, like how do I explain this? Okay, tell you what, I'll you know, like, send you guys the conjugation, right? I'll basically take a class on to be is mr, and you know, like, all the other auxiliary verbs, I think, because you know, like, even today, like, when I was trying to explain do, did, a lot of people are probably going to hit me up that, dude, like, okay, we understand their auxiliary verbs and we understand the rule, but how do they work? So I'll probably also have to take a class on explaining how they work. But yeah, like, just make sure you have your email in the list. Like I have around 270 people that I'm going to send the notes to. So yeah, just like let's do that. And like all these things I've already explained in day 1 and day 2, and like I need to get some water before Prakhar comes here. I'm also like just worried that the stream is not going to be as streamlined, and I also need to change the connection. And yeah, so yeah guys, that's it for today's class. I'm sure you guys found out that it was a little hurried. I also feel that it was a little hurried and this wasn't the best class ever, but yeah, like I'll make it up to you guys in the notes that I'm going to be sending you out. And like you can obviously hit me back for any and all questions that you have. So yeah, I'll stop this stream right now, and I'll see you guys again in 5 minutes. Bye bye.